Morning. Morning. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Just a few minutes, a couple of minutes. Just had to sort out our little guest star vocalist so that he's not a guest star vocalist today, because he still wants to be a vocalist and still wants to join in. I'm talking about the dog, not the staff. He doesn't want to be a vocalist. The staff is now in charge of the dog. So, good morning, and I thought we would revisit an old die, show you some new very pretty papers, and make a slightly different card. So I have used the Firth John Next Door Firth Park tags as part of the card here, and I've also used some of the new Paper Boutique, well, newish Paper Boutique sets. So this one is called Enchanting Eucalyptus, and I'll show you how they go. I've got a couple of them. Oh gosh, crash bang look. I've got a couple of them on the website because they are very pretty, and so you can get the coordinating card. So all the colours of the card match with all of the colours that the kit comes with. So the kit is I can't remember how many, but a load of these toppers. I can't remember. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. So 16 in all of those. 30 toppers, 32 toppers altogether, circles and in squares. And then you've got all the lovely papers that go with them as well. So in all the lovely colours that go with, as you can see, these colours. And then there's also another one which is called Spring Meadow, which is more of the pinks and purples, which again is a very pretty colour. So I'm going to be using those. I'm going to be using the Firth Park tags, and these are they. There's 3 tags in the series, 4 dies in all. I'm going to be using these 2. I'm also going to be using the John Next Door Leafy Flourish because I use it so often, I know, and I'm going to embellish it with the lovely small flowers. So lots of different dies here. That's my Leafy Flourish, and yeah, that's about it. So bring my card back in. So you might have thought, well, that's a bit of an unusual card, because it is, even more so because we're going to make it into a twisted easel, a double twisted easel. So you can see how nicely that goes together. So we've got the background papers from the kit here, which are pretty. I'm using the card from the kit as well, or from the paper pad, I should say, to cut out this sort of thing and make that into the stopper. I'm going to show you how to make the twisted easel, and I've used one of the embellishments there and my lovely Leafy Flourish with the small flowers just there. So without further ado, let me entertain you, I was going to say. So it all folds completely flat. Well, depending on how much leafy bit you're going to put on there. And that would then fit into a sort of a chunky DL card, to be honest, because I've made it a little bit wider. But yeah, pretty. So you've got all your room for your writing, your embellishments on the back. Not your embellishments, your sentiments, I mean. So let's have a go. So let's make the card to start off with. Now, the card is from an A4 piece of white card. And I am going to simply, so that measures 21 centimetres on the short side and 29 and a bit on the long, but I'm going to make it a square so that it's 21 there and therefore 21 along this bit here. So you've got a spare piece left over. So you have got your card there. Then I'm going to take my scoreboard. I'm going to pop that into place, and I'm going to score it in half. So it's at 10.5 along one side there. Then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score again at 10.5, but I'm only going to go down as far as that score line. So I'm not going to score down the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that. Probably now you can see that a bit better. Yeah. And then I want to score over here as well. So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to put my points so that I know that I'm in a straight line. So if I go for, let's say, 17 there, so my point is at 17, and then the other point down here is also at 17. I know then, because you can't see that, I've got measurements at the bottom here as well, so I can make sure that I'm in a straight line. So 17 at the top, doesn't matter what number it is really, it's just so that it's the same number. And I'm just going to go from that point like that. So I'm on this top bit here where I've done the score line, and I'm going to go and do exactly the same. So I'm going to take the point to the 17 there, the point to the 17 there, but I'm only going to go as far as this midsection. Ooh, find it. Like so. So I've now ended up with 21 centimetre square piece of card, scored it in half there, then scored only to the centre there, and then diagonally to those two pieces. Okay, so that's going to be our card base, but we just need to do one more thing, and that's either take a pair of scissors or your trimmer. Guillotine you can't do, but you could do an ordinary paper trimmer. And this midline here, I'm going to just chop up to there. Ooh, like that. Okay, then I'm going to burnish all of my corners, and you can then already see that you've got your lovely twists of your easel part are already done. So if I just make sure that those are all burnished nicely, that's always important. And I'm going to bring that down again and just double burnish that, and then you can see that you have already got your twisted double easel base. So obviously you could do this with any colour card, any type of card. I've used a smooth card here so that I haven't got too many crispy edges. Is that right? Crispy edges? Probably not really. But that's just the way that we're going to start. Oh, I should have been looking at your messages and should have been saying hello to everyone. So hi to everybody. Di's got some gremlins. Nobody else seems to be saying, so I hope it isn't anybody else, Di. Sorry. So now let's decorate this little beauty. So I'm going to pop that to one side for a minute, and I'm going to choose my papers and card that I want to choose from here. So I'm going to go for, whoops, let's have a look. So I think I used that one before. So I might use that one. I don't know whether to use, whoops, that, because that's really pretty as well. I think I'm going to use that one with some darker colours. So I'm going to use that one, and then I'm going to pick out the darker colours. So as you can see, it doesn't matter which colour that you put with it. Let's bring in some other colours. They are all going to match, because that is the beauty of all of these. Even this sort of caramel colour has even picked out on some of the branches on here. So it's really, really well thought of. You've got more papers in there that are going to be perhaps a little bit more suitable than that. But so we've got this colour, which looks nice, but it's too pale to do the matte and layer. We need something a bit darker. So I think I'm going to go for this dark blue one. So a sheet of each, I suggest. And also, let's choose the topper. That's going to go with that. Well, that one goes with it, really, doesn't it? Yeah. Which says you're so special. We're going for a special one. I'm just going to pop that. Oh, she says. out of there. So we've got our You're So Special. And if you carefully look at it, you can see that the background of here is matching with the background of there. But that's just something that I fancy doing rather than anything that you desperately need to do. So we need to do some cutting. So first of all, we're going to do the layer for the inside bit here. And if you recall, we had a 21 centimetre length here. So this one is going to be, and it would be by 10.5, 21 by 10.5. Just got enough room. So I'm going to do a 10 centimetre piece by 20.5. So I've just taken 0.5 centimetre off all the way around, and I will just check that that is enough, and that should fit in there with a little bit of border all the way around, which I think looks all right. And then I'm going to take this, just check there isn't a particularly right or wrong way. 0.5 centimetre less again, so that's 9.5, and this time by 20 centimetres, which should fit in nicely like that. And then you've got your base there. Okay, then I'm going to take my Firth Park dies. So this is one of them. So you've got a very pretty sort of looped edge there, which really lends itself to these centerpieces having embellishments on and all sorts of things. So I'm going to, first of all, pop that onto my base, and I'm going to cut out 4 of these because I want to make them into a proper square rather than, I know it is a square, but I just want to have it all the way around as a square. So I'm just going to chop some of those about. Now, whilst I am doing such a thing, I do want to remind you that we have got the Easter Extravaganza coming up. So starting from this Friday, so that's Good Friday as such, which is Friday the 15th of April at 11 o'clock every day. Sometimes they will be live and sometimes they will not be live, just to keep you all going and guessing. Now, should have done that a bit closer, but I want those other bits. I'm just going to grab another piece of card. We will be having a live session every day at 11 o'clock with all sorts of goodies. Now, some of those goodies are brand new and some of them are revamps, rejigs, revisits, whichever you like to call it. And on Sunday, we've got very special treat for you with something really pretty. Well, there's always going to be pretty, but all sorts of things, all sorts of techniques, all sorts of things. And watch out for a few of the mystery parcels. Now, those of you who have been with me for a little while may know that on occasions, hold on, just trying to clear that. On occasions, we have what we call mystery parcels, and that is over on the website, a very limited amount, so you do have to get in there quick, of parcels that have got at least £50 worth of goodies in there, and they are going to cost you just $14.99. So everybody always says what a brilliant offer that is. So do look out for that. That is Easter Sunday, starting at 11. But the rest of it, it will be all at 11 o'clock every day. So, you know, obviously the one thing is that with postage, they're not going to get anything ordered out from this lot is not going to get posted out to you until Tuesday, isn't it? Because we've got the 2 bank holidays. so Tuesday, for anything that's being sent out. But yeah, so don't forget to put that in your diaries. I will be announcing that afterwards, which will be great. And also I will be saying that from the 1st of May, we're taking bookings for the next John Lockwood online workshop. So don't forget that as well. Pop that in your diary as well. 1st of May will come around as soon as you like, will it not? Now, whilst I've got this out, just want to cut out one of my long dies as well. So this is also from the first part tags, and I'm just going to pop that. Now I'm going to actually pop that onto my larger piece. Don't want to put that in the little one because I need it to go that way through the machine, because otherwise it won't stand a great deal of chance. I'm going to chop it as well of cutting out. The card is 200 GSM in these kits, and so they do cut out quite nicely, quite easily. So, oh, long way to go through. It goes in quite well. So, and this little beauty is going to be kind of like the stopper, which I think is really pretty edge. Very, very pretty edge. And there's also one more die in that die set, as I say. Well, 2 dies really. And that one is this, which is the little tag. So it's like a little flag as well. So all sorts that you could use from there. So let's now pop these together. So for what are going to be squares, I'm simply going to turn that one round and stick that one on top of the other. So we now got a square. Okay, so it's simple as that. So I'm going to make sure that I put the glue just within that square there. And pop that directly over the top, of that one, so that we've got a perfect square and a lovely pretty edge all the way around. I'm going to do the same. Just need to take those little bits out with this one as well. Just realised there's some little bits left in there. So we'll do the same with that one as well. And this is going to be for our actual easel part. So this is going to be for embellishment. Now, I'm going to put some flowers on, or the leafy flourish and some flowers. I'm going to put one of the sentiments on. But before you do such a thing, just double check that when this closes up, it's all in the right position. So let's put this one on first. So this is my first layer, which is going to go on the inside of my double easel, or double twisted easel, I should say. Then my beautiful patterned paper, which, as I say, this one is Enchanted Eucalyptus. So more of a florally sort of, florally. Ooh, not florally. It's no flowers, is it? Is that flowers? No, leafy sort of thing. And here is our little twisted easels that's going to go up here. So if we are going to pop this into our centerpiece there, like so. Before we stick it on here, we just need to make sure that if we popped it there, so that when you are looking at your card flat, it's like that. When we twist it up, so if we stuck it on there like that, when we twist it up, it's on its side. Okay, so we just need to make sure before we stick it down that it reads right that way, so that when it's up. So therefore a card is going to go into our envelope like that, and that when you open it up, that will then twist up like that. Yeah? So I'm going to pop some glue onto just this bottom section, and then I'm going to place my as I can. Making that square. So I'm going to place my front part there, so that, as I said again, then when I open it up, it's actually going to read correctly. Yeah. And then this one here, I'm going to pop my glue again onto this bottom section. Now, as I haven't at this moment in time actually got anything on it, it doesn't matter where it's going to go. It just needs to fit as near as I can into the center. And then by putting the glue just onto this corner piece, believe me, because I did it wrong earlier, if I put glue onto the whole of the back of this piece, it would then stay stuck. And it wasn't a good look then. So when we've then got our two pieces, they then sit up there beautifully. I'm then going to pop some foam onto the back of here. So this is my, oh, goodness me. This is my Firth Park tags, and it's the long single one. And I thought it acted really nicely as a coordinating stopper. It just looked quite nice to go together. And I'll pop an extra bit of glue onto here. The workshop for John's is the Saturday, May the 28th. And booking opens for it on May the 1st. Just pop this there. So I'm going to bring that down to the bottom, not completely on the bottom, but not far off, and just try and even that up. And I've put the foam, as you saw, both sides, because it needs to be a solid piece here. It's no good if we've got the foam in the middle. It's a bit, leaves it a bit weak then. And then lovely cards will I've got to keep pulling it up like that. Yeah. And obviously when we close it down, it also looks flat like that. Now I just want some flowers to go on here. So I'm going to take my leafy flourish and I'm going to just cut out one of those in one of the other pieces of card. So a coordinating piece of card. Looking to see, I think I'm going to use, I'm going to use that green in order to cut that out. So just trim a little bit of that off and run that through. And then for the flowers, I'm also then going to take, and I'll cut that out at the same time, the leftover piece of the patterned paper that I had, and my small John Next Door small leaf, small flowers, and I'm going to cut that out from the same paper. Now, although it's quite a large pattern, if you could call it that, in comparison to my little flowers, the point is that you will get the same colourway and it'll all look so that it all matches really nicely. Whereas if you start introducing a different colour to it, it just, well, to me, it just detracts. If I suddenly put some pink flowers on there, to me, that doesn't look as good. But fair enough, I am a bit fussy when it comes to colours, but that's what the beauty of these paper pads and paper kits are all about, that they pick out the colours all for you. You don't even have to think about So I do want some of these, so I don't want them stuck to the... So can you see what I mean? Although I had that, in comparison to the little flowers, big pattern, it's now just pick them out, just little bits. And if I then pop the rest of them out, you can see that some of them have got more of a white space on it, which is fine. Some of them haven't got any white space on it at all, etc., etc. So I think it looks really nice to coordinate the papers like that. And there's loads there. I don't need all that many, but there are plenty there to choose from. And then my leafy flourish is just release it from the die. Carefully release it. Oh, got my finger stuck there. So I hope that you've got lovely things planned for Easter, but I hope that they might include the odd half hour where you can sit down and relax and watch a few things. If you can join me live at 11 o'clock on the days, that would be lovely. If you can't, there's always catch up for YouTube and things like that. So it's always there to watch. Don't want to tear this because it's the paper. There we go. So delicate. One of my absolute favourites, as I'm sure that if you've watched me before, you will have seen this one on more than one occasion, because I just think it's pretty. So bringing over my patterns here, so I'm going to put my leaf into the centre here, and I'm not going to stick it completely down. I want a bit of movement, so not completely down, and I'm going to stick it at an angle like so. I'm then going to take my moulding mat for my flowers, and I'm going to pick, so with the small flower die which I've used, you will see that there are different shapes and different sizes, so it's quite nice to give that sort of different look. Don't know how many I'm going to put on there, I must admit, but it's quite nice to have a bit of a choice, is it not? So I've got some on there like that. Then I'm going to put the odd dab of glue. Oh, various different places. And then simply pick up and pop it down. I love this. So easy to work with. So you see what I mean about using the patterns of the paper, that it just looks all in keeping, that we've used all the same colours everywhere. Oh, I've got glue on it then. And probably some little pearls, I think, don't you? Let's grab the little pearls. I have to put some little bits of sticky there as well. A bit too much sticky there, I think. Just picking out, sort of drowned that one. I think I need to get myself a new packet of these, you know, because I've very nearly... Sorry, I'm putting my arm right across. Let me do it like that. That's better. I'm just popping all of these little ones. I like using these pearls because they are all the different sizes, and it works out very well, I think, to have the different sizes. But I don't need the different sizes there today. So where are got we? That one and the little tiny one there. And I think they've all now got a centre as well. Yeah, there you go. So let's pop that back in my. I'll put them in there, and then if any do fall off, they're still saved in the bottom. I'm not that daft, you know, so let's scoop these away. And just before I'll give you the grand reveal, there we go. So we have our card closed so that we can pop it into an envelope so that it's nice and, well, fairly flat, isn't it? I'll put that down. But then when we get it, and of course, as I said, room here to write all your happy birthdays or thinking of you or whatever it is that you'd like to say. And then when the recipient gets it, we have got our twisted double easel or our double twisted easel, whichever way you look at it. It doesn't like to be left at such an angle, I have to say, in terms of trying to show you. But if I put it like that, it doesn't show. You can't see it quite so well. So I'm just going to have to hold it there to show you. But I think it looks really pretty. Now, any of your paper pads would work really well with this. So that's why I thought we'd go with a paper pad, a die set, and a fancy fold, even though it isn't Friday. So I'm glad by the looks of it that you like it. So thank you very much. If there is anything that you would like to have a look at, then pop over to the website. Under the Facebook Live section is all our bits and pieces of this today, with this very special offer on the Firth Park tag dies. As I said, remember, we have got our Easter extravaganza, and we will be live at some times, but not live all the time, from at 11 o'clock every day over the Easter weekend, and looking out for all the different things. So take care until then. See you Friday, hopefully, 11 o'clock. And don't forget, mystery parcels go on at 11 o'clock on Easter Sunday as well. My treat to you, really. So thank you so much for joining me again. And I will see you very soon. Take care. Thanks. Bye.